Hey everybody, the following is an excerpt from the monthly Rahdo Roundup, and if you'd like to see the rest of the roundup, you can hit that eye up in the top right corner of the screen, or if you'd like to know more about the game, you can follow the link down in the show notes. And with that out of the way, let's talk about
the Isle of Cats Duel. Oh, baby. I am so excited to get to play this. Before 2024, Isle of Cats came out in 2018, 2019? It made my top 10 of the year. Several years later, like in 21, 20, 22, somewhere in there, Isle of Cats Draw and Write, the roll and write versions of Isle of Cats came out, and it made my top 10 of that year. And so here we are, it's a new year, 2024, and Isle of Cats Duel, a two-player only version of Isle of Cats comes out. Does it make my top 10 of the year? Not quite. But it just misses it. I gotta say, it is brilliant. It is the same super puzzly polyomino tile laying of Isle of Cats that we've seen now in several different iterations. That never gets old. Trying to smartly grab the right crazy shaped cat tiles to fill up our boat, making big families of contiguous colored cats, covering up the rats so that we don't lose points, filling up the rooms so we don't lose points, and grabbing all these, what are they called, lesson cards, objective cards that we can score points for that say, hey, try to do this or that or build in this way or that way. This is the third iteration, and it's not the best. Draw and Write is still the best, but this one is excellent. The way the draft works here is, at the beginning of a round, and I think there's 4 rounds, if I recall correctly, there is a cool little wooden Awshanks cat, I believe, and on your turn, you move that cat 2 spaces, orthogonally to different areas. And wherever you move it to, you've given yourself a choice. You could then, wherever you move it to, you're going to claim. You could claim the card or tile where you moved to, or the card or tile that you skipped over, or the card or tile that you started on. And that gives you so much flexibility. Most of these games, you're like, oh, I've got to move around and I just take wherever I go. Not so. I'm where I want to be. I got to decide where am I going to move this so I can get into position for something later. Or, because this is a 2-player duel game, a lot of your time is spent saying, oh, that you need that purple cat. I know how bad you need that purple cat. I need to move away from that purple cat so that it's going to cost you a lot to get over there. This game is, there's no direct confrontation, but this is more passive aggressive, making moves to hurt your opponent than in any other version of Isle of Cats, because it is, at its heart, a duel. It's not an aggressive duel. You never steal things from anybody else, but you do often make, because there's only one other player, and because of the brilliance of this simple, elegant tile drafting system, as the board dries up and there's fewer and fewer things, it's harder and harder to get into position, to get the stuff you want. You can definitely make moves that make your opponent's life miserable. And if you want to win, you will make those considerations while still always trying to get the best thing for yourself. And it's because there's only one other player, it's really obvious to see how bad somebody needs that card or that treasure tile or that yellow cat, because it's maybe the last yellow cat of the game. And if they don't get it, they'll never complete their objective or their family or whatever it might be, or it's the only thing that'll fit in that space, etc., etc. And so, while it's brilliant, and the Isle of Cats, and I'd happily play it any time, is probably my least favorite of the series because it's a duel. It's a little bit more in your face than the game has ever been before. And so I think for a lot of people, this is going to be the best iteration of Isle of Cats ever. And again, I've got to stress, it's not an aggressive. You never steal stuff. You never destroy stuff. But you do, if you want to play smart, you take your opponent and their needs into account when you're deciding where you're going to go. Because, like I said, it's not any other game like this. Oh, where I go determines what I can get. But here, you can pick up where you started or anything along the way. And that so opens up the possibilities for how to make decisions about moving around. It is a very sharp game. Jen and I enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm only explaining why it's not my number 1 game of the month like the previous Isle of Cats are, and it's my number 4 of the month. And it didn't make my top 10 of the year, but it still made my top 20 of the year. It's still phenomenal. And this is the Isle of Cats. You can play faster than any other version because it's even faster than Draw and Write. It's phenomenal. I love Isle of Cats. I love Isle of Cats Draw and Write. And as it happens, I also love, number 4 of the month, Isle of Cats Duel. And if you want to see it in action, folks, I'm sorry, you can see this is a members only video. If you're a supporter of the show on Patreon or here on YouTube as a member, you could watch me and Jen playing. But In the meantime, I am sure there are going to be run-throughs of this coming soon from other channels. You'll be able to see it in action, and it's worth seeking out, folks. Isle of Cats has always been its best, and this is just a new shade of the kitty cats. All right.
And thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference, believe me. But with that out of the way, if you'd like to see some more, over on the left, you can find a playlist of a whole bunch more Rahdo Rapid reviews. Up in the top right, there's the latest thing that's been added to the channel. And in the bottom right, you've got something YouTube recommends. Okay, folks, thanks for watching.